the headlines.
David Duff, the itinerant Irishman. Now, this week you're reporting from Malmo in Sweden. What's going on in the headlines there?
Yes, hello. To be honest, Sweden being Sweden, it's been another pretty boring week. There's been quite little happening. But what has happened is that Copenhagen wants to make Malmo part of Denmark again. They want to call it Greater Copenhagen.
Wow, where does that come from?
Oh, well, southern Sweden, Skåne, used to actually be part of Denmark. And the Swedes conquered it back in the 16th century, and they made it part of Sweden by pretty much killing all the Danes that lived here. But nowadays, the tourist board and the industry boards in Copenhagen have decided it will be a good thing to call this whole area, this whole province of southern Sweden, call it Greater Copenhagen and see it as a suburb of Copenhagen as opposed to being a part of Sweden.
I normally think of Denmark's southern neighbor as having a traditionally expansionist policy, but yeah, so are there any chances of this actually happening?
I think it probably will happen, yeah. I think in name it's going to just become the term. It's going to be called Greater Copenhagen for industry purposes. Like, it's going to really benefit the tourism sector, and also like to try and lure in some companies to Copenhagen, because it'll, with the population increase, including southern Sweden, it's going to make...
They might be marketing it that way already. It's interesting as well that the cities, people have more of a city identity than sometimes a national or certainly European identity. So we might check back in on this subject. But what else is going on in Sweden? Sweden is a member of the European Union, but not a member of the Euro. How's the economy doing there?
Not so great. The economy here isn't so good, depending where you're living in Sweden. In Malmo, it's not that great at the moment. There's a high unemployment rate, and there's deflation. They're having a very bad problem with deflation, the Swedish central bank. So stuff is going down in price as opposed to increasing, which is just having a knock-on effect, and it's making the Swedish crown weak against the euro, which is kind of good for Swedish exports, but also kind of bad because Swedish exports tend to be of commodities like iron ore and stuff like that, which
or guns.
Yeah, or guns.
Which are no longer off, which are now off the table. Okay, well, we'll check back in with the news from Sweden, or perhaps wherever you might be visiting next.
Yes, maybe Norway. I'll be there next week.
That would be great. Okay, yeah. David Duff, we'll see you next time. Thanks.